Yep.
Okay, I will call the meeting to order. I have a resolution number 53-24. Be it resolved that the meeting be convened at 7 P.M. with Mayor Ray Myriad in the chair. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by,
Bill.
all those in favor? That is carried. Before we continue, I would just like to take this moment to congratulate our newest member of council.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Councilor Ray.
you.
Congratulations on your win, and we look forward to working with you.
I'm excited to start too. Thank you.
And as I mentioned yesterday morning, I believe it was, if you have any questions,
Yeah.
don't be afraid. There's no such thing as a stupid question around this table. So
Okay.
make sure you know what you're voting on and,
You bet.
yeah. Anyways, welcome
Thank you.
aboard. Yes.
Thank you very much.
We'll take the roll call. We've got Muirhead, President, Kalinowicz, President Anderson, present, Ray,
Present.
present, Zach, present, and you, Councilor Downey, present. We have the adoption of the agenda. Number 54-24, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of March 12th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Moved by,
Sure.
seconded by,
I can.
okay. Any additions, deletions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. The adoption of the minutes, we have resolution number 55-24, be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of February 13th and the joint committee meeting of February 26th be adopted as circulated. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Bill.
Any errors or omissions?
You sign this. Initial.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Just.
Opposed, you're in favor, Mike?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so this worked, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finance and accounts, ACAO report. We have resolution number 56-24. Be it resolved that the council accept the report from the assistant CAO McConnell as presented. Moved by,
Bill.
seconded by.
Mike.
We've all read Teresa's report. Is there any questions, comments, concerns, anybody?
Not right.
Pretty straightforward. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have the financial statements that have come out. We have resolution number 57-24. Be it resolved that the financial statement for February 2024 be approved as presented. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by. Tony? I assume we've all had a chance to look at the financial statements. Any questions, concerns, comments? I had a couple, just a quick question about the checks in the financial statement. We've got that?
That's next.
Next, okay, I'll ask that next. Okay, hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Payment and direct withdrawals. We have resolution number 58-24. Be it resolved that the accounts check number 14839 to check number 14886 totaling $117,987.67 and direct withdrawals of $274,798.81 be approved for payment. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Bill. Got your name?
Any questions on the checks?
I didn't have any.
Debbie, Joni, Bill? The only question I had is Skill Solutions. That 3,000 and so on dollars, that was our share, or was that the total to be reimbursed?
That's the total, and then we'll make it up from the NCO. Yeah.
Well,
And the,
try.
Well, no, that will be.
We'll build them, but whether we get it, we'll try.
and the up and up at the end, what was that?
That's our website, our new website.
Okay, got it. That's all I had.
That's for that new, like the whole new. The whole new setup and whatever, right?
For the
Yeah,
website.
yeah, right, right,
Yeah, which will be up hopefully by the end of the week.
right.
Okay, no further questions. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Approved 2023 on financials. We have resolution number 5924. Be it resolved, the council approve the 2023 draft financial statements. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by.
Sure.
So that's the December 31st ones, right?
Correct.
yeah,
Okay. Anybody have any comments or concerns on that? The only thing I was gonna say is 55,000 plus dollar
Surplus,
surplus at the end was
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's good budgeting and fiscal management
Yeah.
for council and staff for sure.
Yeah.
And good work to you guys to keep that
yeah,
on track.
I think
Yeah,
that
no, that's good.
interest that we got probably
For sure.
contributed there as well.
Mhm.
The investments have made a big, big positive in our financials. Yeah.
That's the thought I had when I saw that number. Ah, something's working.
Anyways, okay, all those in favor, financial statements, suppose that is carried. We have bylaws, we have the recreational special reserve bylaw, okay. Resolution number 60-24. Whereas pursuant to section 314 of the Municipal Act, public notice was given and a public hearing was held on December 12th, 2023. And whereas no objections were heard to the bylaw and it was submitted to the municipal board for approval. And whereas the municipal board has approved the special service per board order E-24-012. Now therefore be it resolved that bylaw 6-2023 being a bylaw to establish a special service rate for the provision of recreation services hereby be read a second time. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
Bill,
Excuse me,
I had one question, Bill.
Bill's got a question. Let's go ahead, Bill.
The amount, it varied from, what was it, so much a household to so much a household? There was a 2,000 and some dollar number in there?
Yeah, so depending on how many dwelling units per roll number,
Ah,
so apartment complex is gonna get charged more than
okay, got it.
single family. Yeah.
Okay, that's the only question I had.
Okay, anybody else have any concerns, questions, comments?
Just a question, recreation services, what does that all entail,
That is,
just generally?
that's not the same as our,
The
What is-
reserve?
No.
No, that's for operation of community rec services
Yeah.
is what it's for, so.
Okay.
Operating the rink, ball diamonds, parks.
we have to read this every year, don't we?
No, this one's a special service, it's until 2030, it's a 2029, it's a 5-year bylaw. So we do it every 5 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that answer your question, Dave?
Yes, it does,
Okay.
thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have resolution number 61-24, be it resolved that bylaw 6-2023 being a bylaw to establish a service rate for the provision of recreation services hereby be read a third time and signed by the mayor and CAO, sealed and become law. Moved by.
So moved.
Johnny, seconded by.
Bill,
Sorry, this has to be recorded.
I was just gonna say
Yeah.
this third reading has to be recorded, so letting everybody know this is a recorded vote.
Okay.
This bylaw is just the third reading of the one we just did.
Mhm.
So if there's anybody's got any more questions, concerns? So hearing none, I'll go around the table. I'll start with Councillor Ray. You for or against?
4.
Okay. Councillor Shadak,
Four.
Anderson,
5.
4. Councillor,
or,
myself, 4. That's unanimous, carried. Economic Development Reserve, resolution number 62-24, be it resolved that bylaw 02/2024 being a bylaw to establish reserve fund for economic development hereby be read a first time. Moved by,
Mike.
seconded by.
I can.
Okay. Questions, just straightforward.
Good to have.
Yeah.
Because we want
Mhm.
more of that, yeah.
Great. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. And we have resolution number 63-24. Be it resolved that bylaw 02/20.
No. That's the same one.
It's a copy.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's not, it should be
No.
second, be read.
Yeah, that's what I mean, instead of 24, it should be
You read it
25,
second
the second time.
Oh, good,
It's
good
before you
catch.
start.
I know, I was looking at the
Yeah,
number.
no big deal.
6324 is the right number.
Wasn't the other, oh,
24.
Oh, my bad,
Same.
Same by
Should
law
be just say
second.
second time.
yeah, my bad, dude.
Okay. I'll start over. Resolution number 63-24, be it resolved that bylaw 02/2024 be being a bylaw to establish a reserve fund for economic development be read a second time. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by, moved by, seconded by
Yeah, or John,
Whoever you like.
John.
get it, John.
Same thing as last time. So all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. 7, we have unfinished business. Daycare proposal.
So just to update everybody, it was in CARES report as well, March 20th, they're having their first sort of committee meeting, and there's some training that a couple of them are doing that's mandatory from the province as well for daycare boards.
Mhm.
I believe NCL was talking about it at their meeting yesterday. I haven't heard the outcome about that joint property. So that will sort of be the starting point. And then we're gonna go ahead as if we're not gonna be receiving an RTM. But the process is ongoing, the ball is rolling now, so things are coming together. The childcare co-op is behind it. They know there's a need. They're not interested in operating a second one, but they are willing to help out, get this another one going.
so pretty much not in opposition to pretty much competition,
No.
as you'd say.
No, because there's.
Which is
100
good, because that's
Yeah.
not what we want in town, right? So as long as the other people aren't opposed to, like, again, air quotes, competition, then we're all pretty much sure ducks in a row.
Mhm.
I think with 100 kids on the waiting.
Oh,
list,
yeah.
There's a need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not gonna
Yeah.
be competing against each other really, so.
That actually might bring people to the community when you think about it, so.
If there's childcare, there is.
And
Yeah,
we should we be putting the push onto the RM for that tract of land?
Yeah, I'll check in tomorrow and see.
They
where
didn't,
that-
you say anything about it yesterday?
I haven't heard.
Okay.
But what about still that one piece there that we talked about before?
Well, there is options, yeah.
Like, that's what I mean, for us, at least there's this
Yeah.
option, like a plan B,
Yeah.
if whatever, right?
Yeah.
So we're still good, cause you remember
Yeah.
that. Debbie, you were here for that, but we did have a piece of land that the town did have on their own too, if we decided.
Okay,
We do have a plan B and.
Yeah,
at least
my
anyways,
place.
Right, so.
At the east end of Laverne Avenue.
Yeah.
With Blair and Lori Salt.
oh, yes, okay,
Almost-
yes.
almost
Okay.
right behind my place.
So at least we have a plan B, we can keep the
Yeah,
ball rolling
okay.
like Grady, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any more on that then? That's pretty much it. Okay. Weed supervisor, we have a resolution number 64-24. Be it resolved that council appoint North Cypress Langford weed supervisor Shelley Rowland as the town of Carberry weed supervisor for the year 2024. And further be it resolved that council engage in an agreement with the municipality of North Cypress Langford for using the services of their weed supervisor. Moved by,
Yeah,
seconded by.
Mike,
Discussion on that, for Debbie's sake, just, the new woman, we've traditionally haven't used a weed supervisor for the simple fact that we haven't been able to spray weeds very much, but is that
Mhm.
changing coming up?
Well, some of it has, but we have to appoint a weed supervisor by the act, so. Previously Keith was a joint employee and they've now
Okay.
hired their own weed supervisor after Keith retired, so we've got someone on the books that is our weed supervisor and then just do a fee for service
Okay.
if we have to use it for anything.
Mhm.
it's just a question on that, like, we can't really spray much in town. So would it be a fee for service, or do we have to have someone that we pay a fee or retainer for the license?
Well,
I was wondering if
that's
someone
gotta
like,
be worked out.
someone like there might be a resident that has a license, we not pay them just to be,
You have to have,
Retainer?
you have to have a municipal applicator's
Okay.
ticket, which not a lot of people have.
Okay.
It's a different license than agriculture or commercial.
I was like saying, if someone had it before, we just have them on as a fee,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, instead of paying. I'm just trying to weigh our options, whatever.
It comes to equipment too, right?
Right.
'Cause if we do need something.
Right.
Then they need the equipment to do
Okay,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
and we don't have any spray equipment.
right,
And well, we've got the old quad, but
yeah. Okay, I was just asking the question before we got too far, or whatever,
Mm.
if it was just someone's name on a piece of paper really, or the equipment thing, so, okay.
Okay, anything else on that? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have a resolution number 65-24, be it resolved the council accept the resignation of Zane McConnell, Parks and Recreation laborer, effective February 29th, 2024, with regrets, moved by,
No.
I'll make that a Mike, seconded by
Yeah.
Tony. Pretty straightforward, all those in favor? Opposed?
Sorry to see Zane go as well,
Mhm.
too, he's a really good employee and.
Portable panels for transfer station. We have resolution number 66-24. Be it resolved that council agree to purchase portable fence panels for the Carberry transfer station to prevent people from leaving the station without crossing the scale. And further be it resolved that the cost be shared 50-50 between the town of Carberry and the municipality of North Cypress. Moved by,
Bill,
seconded by
Okay,
Debbie. Straightforward. We're getting some panels just to put out at the waste, you know, for
Yeah.
people, you know,
Mhm.
straightforward, so.
Yeah.
Skip a scale.
Yeah,
yeah.
More than one.
yeah. All in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Health action update. Got a me thing? Or Bill, you're on set.
I don't have much other than the one doctor that was supposed to come didn't show up. I heard today elsewhere that there was some doctor around on Friday. Some Irishman, short Irishman. Maybe it was a leprechaun.
Never heard that.
on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah,
That's on
coming Sunday,
okay.
yeah.
So I can bring up to speed on the health action if you were, or the health situation. Is that a now thing or is that later? Your call, Greg. What do you think?
Yeah, some of it,
I'm sensing hesitancy.
some of it, yeah, we just don't wanna,
Jinx it?
Better be
we don't
safe
wanna
than
tip our
sorry.
hand too much, right?
What's that?
We don't wanna tip our hand too much, just
Yeah,
while
Mhm.
everything's on the go, right? So
Things are in the works.
I think I think we can consider that preliminary and it should be in camera for now.
okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, we
You
were,
see, there's lots of moving parts.
Yeah.
You know, at least,
we were supposed to meet with Glenboro Health Action Committee today, but it was canceled.
Hmm,
See how they made out, how they managed to get a few things done. See if we could pick up some pointers.
There's a lot of moving parts to this health thing, and I won't get into specifics or names or whatever, but suffice it to say, at our last health action committee, there were a few people around the table that were somewhat dismayed at the progress or lack thereof with what's going on. And just in the matter of a day or two, we've had a little bit of a reversal of fortune, so stay tuned kind of thing, so. But that's where we're at on that. 988 signage.
So I had the quote there I shared with you guys, Debbie, you wouldn't have seen it, but we're looking at putting up some information signs for 988. The more permanent signs were $45 a piece. And then a box of 50 posters was like $40 or something like that, so I just didn't know how many of the more permanent signs we wanted to put up. I just wanted to get a feel from you guys. Like, do we want it everywhere? Do we want it just in a few strategic places, or how do you guys see it? Just
I'd say for at least our common areas, like our parks. Our parks and then maybe a few places like around
The rink,
the rink and Main Street, and then maybe we just keep some up to the side for. Maybe if we find some are more high traffic areas. So it's always good to have maybe some spares, so if we're gonna get them, might as well get them now, and then we can, you know, we don't wanna. I don't wanna put them up everywhere,
Mm.
but like, you know, at least for now, and if we decide later, there's a couple more places to put them up, then we just leave those ones up and put the other ones up
Yeah.
later.
Well, order 10 signs then
Yeah,
and then a box of posters and then.
I think it'd be a good thing to say in the parks at least, and maybe a couple spots on Main Street. And then in our our buildings, like our rink and our community hall or
Mhm.
something,
I agree.
and maybe one at the fairgrounds, like right at the
Well,
entrance
that'd be
to
a
the
good
fairgrounds.
place.
So then would leave us with maybe 2 signs, maybe left.
Yeah.
And then if we have a new park or something open up or whatever then, so
Sure.
if that sounds good to everybody.
You had something?
Does,
I did, I wonder if the school, high school.
Yeah, I'm gonna meet with Claudette on Thursday, so
Mhm.
I can ask her.
Well, we'll get the signs anyway, and at least we'll have them.
Yeah, sure.
We can still put them on our pole, like out front of the school or something, right, but we don't wanna
inundate.
overboard, like with
Yeah.
that sort of, you know, it's good to have it visible, but.
Yeah, well, you can
Yeah,
put it up
yeah.
on the board, like the electronic
I
board.
was just
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Mhm.
Good one.
That'd be a good idea. And everybody could see it.
Yeah.
Do you wanna ask at the school too, Ethan, and see if we can put some of the posters up or?
Yeah, I can.
But at least 10 for now should
Yeah.
cover us, and then
That would be great.
if not, we can move one, or if we have a couple extra to put up.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll move on to general business. We have the by-election report, and I think we all know how that went.
Yeah, so, a little bit unfortunate for the turnout, we only had 166 voters. At the last general election, we had, it's close to 600. Whether weather was a factor, but as I said in my email, I'm finding it difficult to get the word out for a by-election when it's not widely public like a general election is.
Mhm.
But, yeah, we had, like, I think there was 10 on the advance poll and then the remainder were at the hospital care home and the hall. So. That's,
Saying into it was right that perfect time, where it was right before you finished work, to close the highways.
Oh,
If you worked
Oh,
in
yeah.
Brandon or Portage or anything,
Yeah,
you were stuck for the night, cause that's where I was for the
Yeah.
night, that night, so
Yeah.
that's why you didn't see me up there.
Yeah.
So that's, I really wanted to be out there to at least put a vote in, so.
well, that's fine.
any other questions about the election report? Hearing none, let's move on to FCC donation, ballpark upgrades, provincial posts.
so the Carberry Minor Ball has put in and been awarded the U13 baseball provincials in early July. They applied to FCC and FCC's given $2,000 as a grant to make some improvements at the canteen. And just to go along with provincials, they're gonna be looking to do some upgrades to the bleachers and they're putting fencing up. And they were talking about them coming back this week. I don't know if they're there yet or not, but to keep putting poles in. And then they got fence topper, they're looking at some irrigation. So there's a number of grants being applied for to do some upgrades up there, but they will be looking to Parks and Rec as to help out with some of it. And so just so it's on your radar that that will be coming up.
So that is, when did you say that is?
I think it's July, the second weekend of July, maybe.
So that's gonna
10th to
be
13th.
a kind of a big deal, there'll be a lot of people coming.
There should be, yeah.
We should have that place shining like a new dime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All that crap behind the canteen and the stuff laying at the side and that old fence in the corner, that, we got lots of time to.
I mean, let's look
Clean
at
up.
some,
Weed spray.
what's it, Manitoba Waste,
The
MWM,
MSM.
yeah,
Like
MMSM,
the
like maybe
recycling
let's look at them starting right now on some bins.
Mhm.
But like, you know, like not just, you know, just a garbage pail with a thing in it, let's actually look at some like good bins and then some bigger bins out there, and I know we have the couple dumpsters out there, but let's, you know, look at placing those in a good spot, couple spots to collect all the garbage and stuff. We're gonna have a big
We've got,
provincial.
we had complaints last year about the weeds around the baselines. So that'll be a good time with, especially with our recent
Mhm.
weed burning
They're
into.
not supposed to spray out there though.
You know,
Children.
Anywhere where children
Yeah.
gather.
Children.
So,
Well, garbage bins though.
but we'll make sure the weeds are looked after.
Enough said. Good. Anything more on that? That's good, they got a grant though.
Mm-hmm.
So what about, maybe matching some, if there's a project that comes through for that canteen or do we maybe want to look at maybe what we can add? Cause if it is gonna be an ask, at least we can have some sort of range. for-
Yeah, I think we'll have another budget meeting and we can discuss it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just,
Oh,
I
that's it.
guess like out loud, just get on it, each other's minds to think,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Excuse me.
Do they have recycling bins out there?
And you said the bleachers will be like painted and stuff like that? Okay, sounds good. Okay, nothing else on that, let's move on to non-residents at transfer stations. I think we all know what this means, but
I think we're going to monitor that for a month and see how many we actually get.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. I don't know if you guys saw the social media post the other day, but there's been a couple of people not very nice to the attendance out there, and that's the reason for it, is to make sure that people that don't pay for the service are
yeah,
not using the service, so it's only benefiting our residents to have that information.
yeah,
I've explained this to quite a few people, what the real purpose is.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But this one guy said, well, now I gotta get a debit card. Well, maybe you better think about it,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same guy that approached me and I said, get a debit card.
Jim.
Yeah, yeah,
You can go buy a prepaid credit card with the tap thing on it,
well,
if you really want to.
there's lots of
Mhm.
comments for that, but I mean, that's, like. I've told people with the roll-off bins, the reasoning behind that, because, more charges, and we're trying to keep our costs. Every time the price of fuel goes up, we can't control it. Every time the price of the wage increase at Attack Ventures, we can't control it. We try to keep everything, and outsiders bringing garbage in, that's just adding to us, so.
But really, in the end, we're not a private dump, we're a
Right,
municipal transfer station, it's a transfer station that says right in the meeting. You bring your stuff in, it gets transferred to somewhere else,
yeah,
there's a cost with it,
There's
right?
a cost that goes with it.
So if you're not a resident, you have to pay. Just like if I go to Brandon, and dump stuff at their dump in Brandon, they make me pay.
yeah,
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So we can't be asking our residents, even with garbage collection, everyone has to pay extra for everybody else to get their stuff dumped
yeah,
for free, pretty much.
right. Okay, I think that's enough on that. We'll go to D, letter of intent, cannabis retail.
So that was shared with you guys. Basically, there's a business from Holland that's looking at bringing the name is the Fusion Bud Cannabis Retail Store. They've got a couple of locations and they're looking at bringing one to our community. There's no information about locations or anything like that, but they're just basically wanting to let us know that they're interested, and that's about it. That's all that was in the letter.
I have a question about that. And I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, if it's a fair question or not, but we just passed for one in the Bailey Building. We've got one on the books for Noble. How many of them do we need in Carberry? Is that something we should be asking ourselves? Like, do we want to have a cannabis store on every street corner?
Yeah, and that's
So
a fair question.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever stopped anybody from opening 8 restaurants and 3 grocery
To
stores.
me, if it's another business
Another
coming in,
business,
taking
yeah.
another spot and making Main Street beautiful again, great. And if it, whatever one does, I'm not saying this one or another one, if it ends up going the other way where it doesn't work out. Maybe it's another building that was renovated and good to go for someone else that maybe to move into. So competition is a good thing, I always think, and I think with competition shows that the town is growing. And the need is there for something, that's why people are investing. Cause they wouldn't invest on something that would fail.
I understand that, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I guess it comes down to opinion. I hear what you're saying, Johnny, but you can't really compare a restaurant to a cannabis. Restaurants clothing stores, drug stores, hardware, they're all family oriented. You take your kids in there. Do you want,
Business is a business, man.
yeah, do you want cannabis, like,
Why not? It's legal, man. Same as you got a hotel to buy booze, you got a store to buy booze. Competition.
Someone open a beer vendor too,
Yep.
it'd be no different. I think that's just my opinion, look.
I don't know, I mean, everybody's entitled to
Put the
opinion,
blinders
that's
on.
fine, I seen this and I just thought. To my opinion, is that what we want on every street corner, but I mean, it all, you know, we can agree to disagree, does this,
Mhm.
do we have to? Vote on that, or that's just an
I would
FYI?
just letter of intent.
Yeah, it's just a letter of intent letting you guys know that they're thinking about
Okay.
coming to Carberry. Depending on location, will dictate whether it has to be conditional use variation orders or anything like that. So, there'll be more to come before it just the door opens wherever, right? So
Okay.
there's a lot of things that have to happen first, and there'll be certifications through the province, and there's a lot of work for them to do yet, so.
The
So-
liquor commission is almost certain to make sure there aren't five in the place.
Yep, I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
just one thing on that though, just in, taking whatever retail it is out of it. We've heard lots of movement with outside and inside people trying to start businesses here, which is great, cause if you hear business from Holland or whatever is thinking of Carberry, that means that our economic development stuff is, or we're doing something right for people to at least think
Mhm.
and invest in their money, at least, you know.
Are the other two stores already approved, coming? Is that a positive?
One is for the Bailey Building, I don't know what the
Okay.
progress is on that, and the other one out there, I think it's still in the works. They're just.
The one that's not gonna be the big building, cause there's nowhere to put them now.
Oh, is that
It's
right?
full.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
There's, and the other ones, the zoning bylaw amendment will be on the April meeting.
okay.
Yeah, they have to change the zoning of theirs. Okay. Let's go on to AMM June district resolutions.
The notice came out from the AMM, they call for resolutions for the district meetings, is out, and it ends on, they have to be in by June 1st, so if you guys have anything that you wanna push to the AMM June districts as far as resolutions,
Yeah.
we don't have to answer it tonight, but if you wanna start thinking about it for our April meeting,
Yeah, we should have that on, we'll have that in the agenda for April meeting.
yeah,
There's probably some stuff we should think about putting on there.
Yeah.
New government.
absolutely, yeah.
That's. Anybody else got anything on that or no? Okay. Let's go to F, Main Street parking.
So with all the growth that we've had, parking is more and more of an issue on Main Street. And we did have the letter a few months ago from the thrift shop. That asking to address it, and I think when you look down Main Street all hours of the day now, especially during, regular business hours, call it, or from 8 to 6. It's busy down here now, and I think it's time for council to look at. Maybe some more restrictions on parking on Main Street as far as time goes. To try and alleviate some of the vehicles that are parked 24/7 or, parked in front of the business. While the workers are that, like the workers using the parking in front of the businesses and stuff like that. We do have other parking areas available for people to use, but I think it's time that we look into something.
Mike, we
I
got
know
that?
you guys are gonna hate me.
Go ahead, give it.
You might know, I'm gonna ask, cause it's been brought up to me on. What about that angle parking? I know it's not, like, not a lot of people like it, now, some people do, some people don't,
Yeah, it's
well, like
wide,
what you see in Equa.
yeah, it's wide enough, so it used to be.
We used to use it all the time.
Yeah.
I know it's painting and whatever, but I know it's a change and people don't like it, but we're talking about, there's more. People, the winter time, I get it, like now the cars are kind of parked on an angle, but.
Well, there's not supposed to be any overnight parking.
Mm-mm.
Right, but I'm saying if a car was parked there overnight though, instead of the plow kind of just going around it, now it's kind of,
But tow truck comes and gets it.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying though, like with the amount of people parking and they're wide enough, I'm gonna be devil's advocate, I personally, me, I don't really like it, but I'm gonna put it out there. That like what you see in Neepawa, where if you're going, north, you kind of park like this. If you're going south, then when you back out, you're actually just kind of backing out on
So are you thinking one side or both sides?
both sides. Just from Second. Or maybe whenever we decide, I'm just throwing it out there. Without switching parking bylaws and all these other things, if it's just angle parking. That's not right now, it's been brought up to me before, like, why don't we do the thing like in Equa? So,
See, viewers around the table remember when it was angled both sides.
Yeah.
And I can't remember why they took it first off on one side and then the other side. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
I
Yeah.
can't remember
You
why.
like cars got longer.
Yeah. There we go.
Cars go behind.
Can we ask you, do you remember?
Because it didn't work at Agnew Park, there was no room left on the street.
Okay.
Cars got.
That's
longer.
50
Cars
years ago.
Cars got
Yeah.
longer.
you
but,
put it up
yeah,
4
but
feet on both sides, that's
like,
8 feet.
if then. Let's like, if they were like this, if we made them more like this now. I'm just throwing it out there, cause it has been
Yeah, I
brought up to
mean,
me before, people said,
Yeah,
Neepawa's a lot of people, they kind of park and there's up for hockey or like, why don't we do that in
Yeah.
Carberry, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just,
They do have, the streets a lot wider there.
Mhm.
I understand, yeah, so,
But if you did one side,
I don't know what to take on that. I honestly don't have an opinion. I know we went to parallel over by Miners
Mhm.
Meats. What was the reasoning there? It was just,
be the width of the street.
It was dangerous,
Yeah.
because people were coming around the corner
Yeah.
and then you're trying to back out of the angle parking and. There was,
kids walking or something, like
Mhm.
it might have been anything, right?
Or you're backing right into
I
that
thought I
cross.
heard one time that maybe backing up had something to do with it. Right now, when you're parallel parking, it's just backing up. If you're backing up straight, you're gonna pull a word.
You're signaling and people can see the signal, right? But when you're parked like this, you have no real signal, right? Cause you're not going left,
and you're blind too, you're backing out. blind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
you're
can't-
blocked from.
Yeah, especially if there's a big truck there, right?
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
point, right?
yeah.
The only other way I can see is if we paved the end of Main Street, like we've kind of been kind of chit chatting about, but how much does that cost too, right? There's always a cost with it.
Yeah,
But then having a big parking lot at the end of Main Street and you work up at, the bank, where you're not gonna walk. Like really, you're gonna park as close as you can to the bank, right? So,
we've got, well, we all call it CVM parking lot, but the town owns it, right?
Yeah, and the one behind the credit union.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Tomboy a lot.
Tomboy owns their own
They
lot.
own their
Beside
own.
the car wash, you can get 4 or 5 cars in there.
That's private.
That's
lot.
that's
I
private
know it's
property.
He's
private,
putting
but
vacuums in there, so
Yeah.
there'll be no more parking this summer.
There's some of the business employees park on Main Street. There was a truck again today.
so I mean, we can make. I don't know, I'm throwing out their ideas, right? That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
If there was angle parking, everyone's got trucks. It's hard to say like no trucks, but. You know what I'm trying to get at here? I'm trying to think like,
no,
what kind of, if you did an angle, what kind of angle, right? Or we can just keep it parallel and then if it's full, then you go park in the parking lot, like. It is what it is, no different than going to the city, right? There's no street parking, you can go find a parkade.
I think, to Bill's point, I mean, if we're having trouble parking on both sides of the road, we've gotta look at business people that are parking in front of their business. I mean, there's a flip side to that coin, where else are they gonna park if they don't have room at the back? And the other thing is, there are some people down there that live in the blocks that they park 24 hours a day in front of it. So, and again, where are they gonna park? I mean, if they go park in our parking lot, CVM parking lot, at least it gets them off of Main Street.
So what if you own a business, right,
Yeah,
and you come in to get a permit? For each business, you get a permit. Like if you have no parking in the back,
yeah,
right? So if you have no parking in the back, let's say it's mine, right? No
Yeah.
parking in the back.
Yeah.
You can come into town, you can get a permit. That permit permits you to have a parking spot, whether it's in front or beside your store, and it's only for one vehicle, which would be your store vehicle. Right, cause if you're somewhere that doesn't really you know, you have a, let's say a company truck or something, I'm throwing it out there, right? You get your permit. So then there's your permit to park. In the spot.
I wonder, maybe, we're not gonna decide this tonight, but I just wonder if we shouldn't start encouraging some people to utilize our lot at the CVM. I mean, you park at the CVM, if you are a business owner, an employee of a business, or you live in an apartment. I mean, it's not, I park in Walmart parking lot, I walk farther to Walmart than what you would walk from
Mhm.
our parking lot at CVM down to, I don't know, pick a business.
Yeah.
And if we can encourage that. And then that frees up that much more, or just a start, does that make sense?
Yeah, so.
And you encourage that by putting a time limit on parking spots.
Yes, 1 hour on Main Street.
But then you have to have enforcement, right? With enforcement comes with costs as well, right?
Yeah.
So like, again, like with costs, like over the amount of years, how much would it be to pave a parking lot compared to having a bylaw person come around? And then the fees incurred on parking tickets and everything else, like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a sticky situation, right? Like,
Mhm.
if I was living in an apartment above Main Street.
Yeah.
And you told me like, hey, Mike, you can go park in the CVM parking lot or the CMI, we paved it for you. Well, when I get up in the morning, my car doesn't have a thing. And I'm not gonna go put my key in the car and let it run to the parking lot at the end of the Main Street for 20 minutes. Right, so I'm gonna park on the street. Even though the snowplow's coming around and get a ticket. When's the bylaw guy around to come, I'm just being honest, when's the bylaw guy around to come give a ticket
Yeah.
at 7 in the morning, right? So I know I'm gonna get away with it.
Well, I mean, we have options for writing tickets too,
Mhm.
right? Our designated officers can write tickets, and we
Yeah.
can make anyone a designated officer.
Right,
So one of our public works guys could be a designated officer, or
Yeah.
like, here's a parking ticket.
perfect.
But I
Hop in
think
the plow and Get
the,
out and write a ticket.
well, and it's tow away, right? So they've
Yeah.
towed vehicles before that have been left on Main Street when they had to go plow, cause there's no parking from 2 to 8 right now anyway.
What, excuse me, but what if we put up signs on Main Street, 1 hour maximum parking time during business hours?
Well, that was my thought, was to do, I had 2 hours in my mind, but
Well, 2 hours, okay,
like, for example, I'm gonna go get my hair done, it's not gonna be done in an hour.
no, true.
Your
So-
hair probably is.
Well,
No, might as well.
anyway, right, that, to do a
Yeah.
2 hour time limit, right, and then. From 8 to 6, say, and then no overnight parking. The caution that I have on it is with the licensed establishments on Main Street, we have to be careful of that too, because we don't
Mhm.
wanna force people. To drive impaired, we would like to see the vehicles left overnight, so there has to be some give and take that way, right? But I think we have to make room for people coming and going out of the businesses, because we are. Essentially, we're full right now, other than a couple spots.
Yeah.
With retail. And we haven't had that for a long, long time, and now we're starting to get these growing pains, right? Especially like the other day, there was a service at the Legion, that's an extreme example, but
Mhm.
there was like, you couldn't park anywhere.
Yeah.
It was all full,
Mhm.
but
And even farmers market sometimes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of.
Which is great, that's a great problem to have, but we just need to think about addressing it. I'm gonna go to the chamber meeting tomorrow. And just bring it up there and see what
Mhm.
everybody thinks about a time limit. And just kind of get a feel for what the business owners think, at least at the start.
But we should,
Which
encourage people to use, a CVM park, I mean, you look at Guild Insurance.
Yeah.
The owners and the employees, they park there, albeit it's right beside, but I mean, it gets used, there's still room.
And
The
that's
one
what we,
behind the credit union, we should encourage that because it doesn't get used.
Well, like, again, like, too, like, we're growing, right? We're growing and then this is a problem, so like.
Yeah.
Really. Again, it's all about dollars and whatever, but. Actually making these parking spaces, with lines and whatever, maybe some lighting, so if you leave your vehicle overnight.
Mhm.
There's lighting there at least to deter, when you park your car, so if I'm gonna go to Callahan's. And I'm gonna go park behind the bank to go walk there, cause I know I'm gonna have a Christmas party or something. We have a lighted parking lot with lines and some lights or something, like, it's starting to get there with the homecoming and everything else, and the
Mhm.
legions and, I don't know, I just see that being probably a good thing for us. a good thing.
I
And
think,
if they're there with the lines, Ray, with the lights.
Yeah.
You know, oh, there's the parking lot, okay, I'm gonna go park there, cause there's no parking on the street, right, or something like, I'm just,
I think this is gonna require a bit of thought from all of
Yeah.
us, so
Mhm.
going forward. That should be on our radar anyway, because it is a concern now that you mention it, so.
Yeah.
But we have to make this as least intrusive to some people, like we don't want to. Well, for lack of a better way of putting it, excuse my P's and Q's, but we don't want to start to piss people off, you know, and,
Well, these new businesses especially,
yeah.
they've put the effort to fill a building and are doing a business and they're getting harassed.
and if the
Mhm.
building is big enough. That it was built out towards the back lane, they really have nowhere to park,
Mhm.
right, like, there's no other choice.
But we could give them an option, park across the street.
Well, and that's when they put notices out at the start of the winter, it says it right on there, like,
Yeah.
please use the parking lot beside the CVM. That
Yeah.
goes right on there. It's not like we're saying, don't park on the street and not giving them an option. We put it right on the notice.
Right.
Mhm.
At no charge,
Yeah, and they know that.
yeah.
They, if you ever get that bank building torn down, there's a good parking.
Mhm. You have
Anyways.
to maybe look at, handicap parking as well.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of that in town,
No, we don't.
not designated areas.
Okay. Let's move on to AMM Spring Convention. We have resolution number 67-24, be it resolved that all council and the CAO be authorized to attend the AMM Spring Convention in Brandon, April 9th to 11th, 2024, with costs covered to include registration, mileage, and meals. Moved by.
Yeah.
Seconded by.
Bill,
Mike,
Mike,
Bill. Any, concerns, comments? People going, people not going?
let's put.
You got a bit of time to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, right?
Just let me know relatively soon. I
Okay.
think the deadline is coming up in the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
end of March-ish. But if you can let me know within the next week or so, then I'll get everybody registered that's able to go.
Do we have, maybe you said it and I didn't see it, do we have an agenda?
That just sort of came out the last couple of days, so I will send it out to you guys, so.
Is there anything good on it?
I didn't look at it that close yet.
Okay, I'll look at it, and decide.
I'm at work there. In fire control at the airport, so.
I just, further discussions we've had before, going to Winnipeg and all that entails, I mean, and you get in there and the workshops are no good and it's a waste of taxpayers' dollars for all of us to go in, so.
Meals and hotels. and
Yeah,
everything, really,
so
like-
keep that in mind, if the agenda has got some good stuff,
I mean, it's good to have a representative
Yeah.
to do the, out,
Yeah.
at least maybe even the mayor, deputy mayor and the CAO.
Yeah,
To do some networking,
Yeah.
right, but,
yeah.
cause it's good to represent ourselves, not be the guys that don't show up to anything, but.
Well,
at least,
I think it was you said before, we
Yeah.
spend a lot of money going on these things.
It is like with meals, right, and then hotels for 5 councils plus CAO.
Yeah.
And then, there's no real, I mean, I'm not saying they're never no good, but.
The
The
last 3
network
years
is
have
good,
been
but
kinda
you don't need 5 to network, right?
That's right.
Just,
I
I'm just saying, right, for the amount of money it costs.
And this was just in Brandon, so.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're talking about the Winnipeg
Yeah, yeah,
ones, right,
yeah.
like,
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. Manitoba Historical Society Awards.
That notice was sent out to you guys. We are eligible to receive an award, so I'm assuming that you guys want us to put in for it.
Sure.
yeah,
Every award we can get is a bonus.
good news.
Yeah.
It's good news.
Public Works, we're done on that, Historical Society. Okay, Public Works Collective Agreement. We have a resolution. Number 68-24, be it resolved that council ratify the 2024 to 2026 collective agreement between Operating Engineers 987 and the town of Carberry as recommended by the negotiating committee. And authorize the mayor and CAO to sign on council's behalf. Moved by. Shoney, seconded by
Bill,
Bill. That's pretty straightforward, or just for Debbie's, you probably knew this, but our public works are unionized now, so. We just did the finished up the collective agreement, well, you've seen this
Yeah.
signing it tonight, so
That's
that's
good.
what that's about. Any questions, concerns, straightforward, okay, all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have investment renewal. Excuse me, we have resolution number 69-24. Be it resolved that council reinvest a maturing GIC at Westover Credit Union valued at $38,400 plus accumulated interest for an additional period of 5 years. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by
Debbie.
Debbie. Any discussion? Is everybody?
So can we get out of this? We have to go to 5 years.
It's a laddered one, so we have one renewing every year.
Okay.
Yeah, just,
So this is just the first one from when we did it
Yeah,
last
same
year.
question I asked 100 times. I should know this.
No, that's good though. And, in the year, we made almost $2,000 in interest on that money,
On this one,
on just this one.
wow,
So,
well, interest rates are still kind of high, so
Mhm.
now's
I
the
don't know, what are they
time.
paying nowadays?
I'm not sure what the new rate is. We didn't ask yet, but.
Okay.
I mean, if it's kind of sitting there and put away, then we might as well make something on it with nothing.
This is the money in the general
Yeah.
reserve too, which we never use and we're trying to build it up.
Yeah.
Do it again, I'm
Okay,
over.
all those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We are down to reports. We're at the stage of the game where we have a youth counselor report.
I have a lot.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We've got the pancake breakfast on Monday next week. And then on top of that, Tuesday to Thursday is grade wars for 9 to 12. Just as a quick explanation to what that is, for new
Yes.
counselors and
Please.
just as a reminder for old, it's just a set of activities that students can volunteer for and represent their grade. So some examples would be karaoke, dance, and Mario Kart. We have the World of Wheels is next Friday. We have several students going to that in Winnipeg.
Good for you.
Student-led conferences for grade 5 to 8 start tomorrow and happen until Friday. With their report cards, they went out tonight. The high school has student-led conferences later in April. Grade 7 and 8s have a ski trip to Minnedosa on Thursday.
I've heard about that.
The jazz band, Mrs. Burke's jazz band, got a really high mark or rating, I guess, at the Winnipeg Festival that they went to earlier in February. We have 3 student teachers new to the school this week, one of them being a former grad.
Really?
Yep, I don't remember which one it is,
Okay.
but there is one. There is a slight concern of filling teacher positions. Similar to doctors, there's a shortage of teachers in Manitoba. So Beautiful Plains School Division is taking measures and ensuring that we secure teacher positions before it's too late. And then there is talk of funds from the provincial government for nutrition or a meal program, which would essentially be free for everyone. It'd be like, you come in the morning and here's a banana and a muffin. And you don't have to take it if you don't want to, but it's an option for students.
That's a good option.
So, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Who's sponsoring that program?
I'm pretty sure it's the provincial government.
Yeah.
Provincial government.
It was talked about yesterday.
I thought I heard, I was just trying to look again.
Mhm.
Yes.
I think that's one of
That's it, that's a
the
local
mandates. wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was a local thing that maybe that's up to.
They give us money, but they don't give us staff.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is quite a lot happening in sports. The Wildcats hockey team won gold at provincials, but unfortunately lost to Nipawin first round in the into playoffs. The varsity basketball team, they also unfortunately lost the zone finals to Nipawin, so they came home with the finalist banner. But they are going to provincials in Russell this weekend. And the JV boys basketball beat Nipawin pretty badly in the zone finals yesterday and won bronze at provincials. Then we have field lacrosse team coming back for the second year. and badminton from grades 7 to 12 starting back up relatively soon. And that's everything I have.
Very good.
Mhm.
Thank you. Any
Okay.
questions, Ethan, or, well, I was gonna ask you, pancake breakfast, I don't in public?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got that bill, we're gonna take me over breakfast.
Oh, we've been all over that.
Yeah.
You might be able to pull some strings even for the mayor.
Maybe.
Why not, man?
Did
First of
you,
the job, right?
did you inquire as to time commitments for a youth counselor? You had said that you might have a pretty full schedule.
Yeah, when do you need me to know by, I guess?
So you need to tell us.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep,
Yeah,
we're just gonna get busy for you, buddy.
yeah, just, it'd be nice before the end of the school year, so we can start looking for someone to start in September.
yeah,
Almost like the election, right? Put up
Yeah.
the word and,
Yeah,
you know, so if there's more than one youth counselor, we can do something.
So the
Yep.
ball is back in your court.
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Alright.
just let us know.
And you, have you been starting on that, drop-in stuff?
Yep,
Yeah.
I think Kara mentioned it in her,
Yeah, she did.
I sent out a survey to the office yesterday and they sent it out today. We have just under 140 responses.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
A lot
Better than our.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
didn't even know
impressive.
people came out to vote.
That's pretty impressive. for
Yes, that's a lot.
Not even a day.
Yeah,
That's just for today. It'll be open until Friday. So
hey, well, yeah, let us know,
Wow.
buddy, yeah.
Great.
it's gonna be interesting going through the responses. I've gone through a few of them already and some of them are good, some of them are questionable, but
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
You should see when we got rid of the public bathrooms.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, great
Uh,
report.
yeah, thanks for that report.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to CAO report. Grady sent out a report. I'm assuming we all read it. Any questions, comments, concerns on that? Straightforward. Okay, we'll move on to economic development report. We read Kara's report. She's got a in-depth one. Any questions on that? Shiloh sent me, I don't know if this, okay, no, that has nothing to do with that. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Any questions on the EDO report?
There's a few things here that listed underneath it on the other page there that we have to go through though from her report.
Okay,
She's looking for volunteers for the winter fair again, if anyone's available.
me and Bill signed up.
Yeah, so that's changed. She doesn't have to be away, but she will still welcome you
I can
guys.
go, yeah, I can go in
So,
and sit with her.
if you do have some time and you wanna go in and sit at the booth, just let Kara know. And, she will make arrangements to get you guys in the gate and
I
stuff.
think she was going to ask, the Chamber of Commerce as
Yeah.
well,
That's
for
on,
volunteers from there.
that's on the agenda for tomorrow too. We did have a few of them last year and had volunteered for that, so.
I
That'd be
sat
good
with her
for
a couple of
sure.
days last year and it was good. There was a lot of people
I was
Mhm.
there. I think last
And she got
year.
a big, better spot there.
She
this year,
does,
right?
she
So,
said.
and, yeah, we were kind of in the hallway there, which, you
Yeah.
know, there were still people.
There's
there,
lots
so-
of people, but yeah,
Yeah.
that just being a wider spot that I heard is.
Yeah, I'll talk to Kara tomorrow. I'll send her a text or something. Yeah. Any more questions on Kara's report? I'll go to the resolution.
No, there's still more here, yeah. So the highway signage.
Yeah.
I guess it was a chamber venture, so, I sent out the marketing promo drafts, you guys will have that.
Okay.
So if you can kind of go through and see what you like the best for that advertising for those big signs on the highway, and also for some of the other ones that, she has, outlined as far as advertising, the Brandon bus bench.
Oh, yeah, see, I read on that.
The Portage.
Yeah.
The banner and that, so if you guys can look at that and then just either email her or email me or both of us, however you wanna do it, just what you think you would like to see on. Out of those things, if we're gonna do it all or parts of it, and then what you like best out of those selections that she has there for those advertisements.
I'm gonna be a stickler on signage, but since we're talking about it, the signage that we put up, There's not some better backing, like I thought they'd be like a metal sign instead of a.
They are metal signs and our guys put the plywood back around there, the public works guys did, so that's, it will get remedied.
Okay, I just wondering, because when you drive the other way, all you see is this big
Yeah,
square thing
Okay,
of plywood on the other side, right? So it's, you have this nice sign on one side, and then get maybe why this, I'm just, since we're talking about signage anyways. I thought,
yeah, no, it's been,
okay,
it's been, yeah.
if it's been taken care of, then I don't need to speak anymore on it.
The Shiloh Military Family Resource Center want to meet with the community, so they're coming on April 4th. So if anyone's available for that, I think they're shooting for 10 AM, they just have to nail down a time. But they wanna discuss how they can work with the communities. Just like when the base commander was here,
Okay.
and how he said that, it seems like his mandate is sort of filtered down and they're looking at cooperating with us on stuff too, so if anyone's
That's good.
available for that.
Sorry, and so like, this is just talking with MFRC on anything from childcare to.
I don't know the details, I just know they wanna talk about how to cooperate with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, that's good for
Yeah,
daycare, because
Mhm.
sometimes so I'll just give you an update, what, I know when I was in.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people from outside of the base using the daycare on the base. So the soldiers couldn't use the daycare on the base because the spots were full.
Oh.
So there's lots of soldiers that live here. And sometimes there's no daycare, right? So if there's no
Mhm.
daycare and the military's gonna pay for me to move, I'll move to a place where I got daycare.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
oh,
we can work in conjunction with MFRC that if there's some people that may be from here, they're using daycare in Shiloh, if we have a daycare here.
Mhm.
Or vice versa, I know that was a problem when I was in the forces.
well, it makes sense, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
So if we're gonna go meet that, unfortunately, again, if it's in the day I'm at work.
Yeah.
But that's maybe something to bring up, to work in conjunction with them, if we're talking about a daycare.
I'll try to be here, Brady, you just kind of give me a heads up. And
Yeah, it sounds like they wanna have it at the Legion, they
Okay.
still just, they're working on that, so we'll keep everybody posted on that.
Me and Bill will be there.
We sent out the housing brochures. Is everybody good with that? Kara would like to get them printed up for the fair. It has our information and then that new housing development. The affordable apartments is in there too, so if you guys are good with it.
Yeah,
We talked with the company there, then with that, to go with that, then sure, if we're talking about that, how affordable.
Yeah, that
Okay.
Kara and Paul have been back and forth on that.
Okay.
and That's,
I wanna talk about that in camera, maybe. That's a
Okay.
concern.
sure, yep. And then she asked about the facilitation space survey. We had talked about it at our January economic development meeting. Just a quick 2-question thing to see if there's any need for any additional facilitation space.
Okay.
So that will go out. Tourism Westman Award, she's gonna put in a number of nominations for that. Something tells me we won one last year, but I can't remember who won.
For, what was
Ag
that?
Society maybe for the fair. There was
Right,
somebody,
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
so she's gonna put in some others for that. And then just the last one is the EDAM conference, which is what this resolution is for.
Okay. Any questions on what Brady just said first before we read the resolution?
I don't know if this is something you maybe wanna.
Okay, yes, I
just
can.
fill out for second.
Thanks, Debbie.
We just go all front there, Debbie, yeah.
Thanks. Okay, Councilor Ray has excused herself for perceived conflict, so that's good. I'll read the resolution, number 70-24, be it resolved that council authorize the attendance of the Economic Development Officer Bernie at the EDAM conference at Portage La Prairie with cost to include registration, mileage, meals, and accommodations. Moved by.
Yep.
Joni, seconded by
Like,
Mike. Discussion, pretty straightforward.
is it overnight?
Yeah, it'll be like a weekend.
It's a 3-day
Yeah.
event, I think, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think is what it is. And even she's nominated for one of the awards, and there would be a banquet one evening, so I think it's something that we should try and have some attendance there.
Yeah.
It's a Rising Stars Award for.
So we can hotels for all 3 nights or
Be the 2 nights.
2 nights?
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is just for Kara, right? That's not
Yeah.
for.
so it'd be drive there the first morning and then 2 nights, and, cause I think, I don't know the exact program, but I think there's some like good networking and stuff like that in the evenings too, so.
Okay, yeah, as long as they're eating stuff, like, I was almost gonna bring that up I'll bring it up later, but let's touch on now, like, I don't know if we should have a range, you know, for overnights, unless it's a banquet, you know what I mean, because you don't want anybody to have a couple drinks and drive, but I think if it's so far that, not this one, I'm just saying in general, when we look at going away, you know, what if we stay for a night, if it's within so many kilometers, I think it's worth the drive back.
Yeah, you know, actually, that's a good point.
Cause like I drove to Portage for work and back all the time, it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So a hotel versus kilometers, I know there's a thing, right, but you think the hotels are 200 to 250 bucks, especially if there's a conference.
Yeah.
Compared to 50 cents a kilometer. I'm just saying on a ratepayers.
Yeah,
standpoint,
no,
right, like,
I kind of think I agree with you on
so if
that.
something's done at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it doesn't start till 9 the next morning. It's quite a ways for a
I know
hotel.
when we used to go to Brandon, and we haven't done this for a few years, but through Cypress Planning, they would put us up at a hotel.
That's what I
Doesn't
mean,
make
it's
sense.
a 20-minute drive, right?
Yeah.
I just need something to,
Yeah.
not on this, I'm not saying for this certain thing, I'm just saying, like, I think in the future, I think we just need to look that, without picking this one thing, I know we're on this, I'm sorry for getting off topic.
No, but
I
it wouldn't
just
hurt,
thought it was-
wouldn't hurt to get a policy of some sort.
We can draft something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much anything without a struggle, if there's no hotel.
Yeah.
Right, but you know what I'm saying, like, if it's a Brandon trip, you don't need to spend a night in Brandon for $220.
depending on what you do.
Right, unless it's a banquet, right? I understand a banquet.
Yeah, we
That's,
don't
that's
want
a
anybody
given.
having it.
But like you say, you drove the Portage every day.
I'd rather
Part
rent
of the
every day
deal.
now, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, if there's a special graduation with a banquet and supper, lodge that, get it.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know, there's a banquet, supper goes late and you don't want people to drive, but.
Yeah.
That's a one-off, but a conference that might be, you know, 40 minutes away. Might wanna, I just mean as a policy, we
Yeah.
might wanna.
No, it makes sense to me. I don't know. It makes sense to you guys?
It does. But the one other thing I would suggest
Yeah,
is that we look at someday buying a company vehicle that whoever's gotta go someplace and use.
They brought that up a few years ago.
Yeah, I've always thought of that,
Oh,
but we've
I
never,
think you did, yes.
Yeah, no, for sure, I can look into some of that too.
we can talk about that after, but just for this, I just thought we'd bring it
Yeah,
up,
no,
maybe we can have,
it's,
maybe we have a
fair
little
comment.
discussion later about that, but I think it's a good investment that. Like Bill said, with it, like Grady brought up before, I know it's a cost, but I think about over the years, if you're running a Brandon or running in Winnipeg to go do something, you're paying an employee. What, 50 cents a kilometer
Yeah, it's
almost?
56 right now.
56 cents a kilometer,
Yeah.
you drive into Winnipeg to grab some batteries, or Brandon to grab some batteries, when you could just take a town of Carberry SUV, or. Like, it doesn't have to be a pickup truck, and then if it's so many kilometers away, not this, not for,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general, right? You guys know, we just talked about it for our conferences,
Yeah.
right? So, and that includes council as well, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let's move on. We've got a mover and a seconder. Any more discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried.
Good. we can, after we use it, bring it, just be on that, because that's nothing to do with
Yeah,
the EDL, that's just.
yeah. let's
Thing
just
out there,
standard
yeah,
policy,
yeah.
All right, we'll move on to committee reports. We have, whoops. Oh,
I was getting a fire page, see ya.
protective services. Do you have any
Nah.
reports on that? Fire, police, any of that kind of stuff?
It's been really tough, so far, it's our 125th year this year. So we're gonna be looking at,
And you see the new sweet sweaters we got.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I was
God.
gonna wear mine and I was still in the dryer, so.
stay tuned, we're gonna hopefully plan some sort of event to honor that, but it's a pretty big deal.
The fire
125
department, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
125 years
Nice.
this year, yeah.
Good for them. All right, look forward to it.
Yeah, and I guess the fire, like, you know, just on another note, it's not been a very good winter.
Yeah,
So, you know, hopefully get some more precipitation or else we're gonna have a very busy spring. and summer.
Mhm.
So like, there might be, hopefully I don't like to be the bearer of bad
stay
news.
tuned though, yeah. I
Yeah.
hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Public Works, anything on Public Works?
I see they got the shed all sided. They've been doing a great job on the streets. I know in particular across the road from my place, where the ambulance is on a very regular basis lately. They even took an extra swipe off the driveway when they were going by, which was appreciated.
Got the shed all the way down there, still in the corner, in the
Are they?
southwest corner.
And I guess I know how it is in the winter with the thawing and stuff, but maybe see if they can get that steamer out or do something with the bus loop.
They're working on it.
They
Yeah.
were.
They're out today.
Yeah, no, I just, cause the bus loop is,
Mhm.
cause when we, of course, the only reason why I'm saying that is cause there's that parking we have that's a drop off now, and unfortunately, that's where, as you know, I don't have to preach to the choir here, but some people's, it's only cause I'm there picking up my people, hey, when, are they gonna get rid of this water? And I've explained to them, you know, how it works and whatever, and, but I just, again, when the public brings it up to my attention, I mean, yeah, so.
Okay, is that it for Public Works or?
I think so. We're supposed to have a meeting, but not sure.
Yeah, they've been tied up with
Mhm.
snow and now melt all in the same week.
Yeah, it's-
They're busy working.
Yeah.
Buildings, anything on buildings?
Oh,
Museum, I guess, with the replacement of the
yeah,
pump.
I don't know what the final bill was on that.
We haven't seen it yet, but I've been told that we're only getting charged one call.
Oh,
Okay.
did they ever figure it out?
I think it's solved now, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry, which one was that?
the museum,
Museum.
the water system froze up because
Yeah, I
the
remember
furnace had failed.
Okay, that's it for buildings. Let's move
Thank
on
you.
to waste management. Anything on waste management?
Well, there was, Grady had mentioned that there was some irate people, I guess,
Yeah, well, that's to be expected, change. So,
and they're supposed to be keeping track of how many people from out of the area are using it. We wanna know before we do anything much.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think there was anything there.
okay, archives, I've got nothing on archives. There hasn't been a meeting lately that I know of, but I haven't been at one, so. It's usually conflicts with this or something else. Arts Council?
Not a lot new. We had that meeting the other day to clarify rental of the basement of the town hall there. So it was a nice meeting. We all got along, we all come to agreements. And basically, they're still doing what they do, offer after school lessons, music lessons, art lessons, things like that, so. Quite busy.
Good. Cemetery,
We're having a meeting next month. There's been nothing that I've heard for the past while since the last meeting.
okay,
Robbie's supposed to be looking after that windmill, so I don't have anything else.
okay. Museum, I think you covered that just now. Is there anything else on museum? or-
I don't think a lot new, no.
Okay. Handy van seniors,
There was a revised quote on a new handy van. And I think they had made us kind of an offer on the old one. But it really didn't sound like it was enough.
Okay.
So other than that, I don't know anything else. Library,
when we're talking handy van seniors, that's service for seniors. We
Yeah.
went down and had our picture taken when the grant was given here about a couple of weeks ago, I guess, right? Just to let people know. Drop-in center or service for seniors got what, 15,000?
Total was 15, yeah.
15,000, so just an FYI.
I think there's supposed to be a requote on the air conditioning or the heat pump
Yeah.
/ air conditioning. I haven't seen it yet.
Library,
I've been to 2 library meetings now, in Brandon, once by Zoom, once in person. there really wasn't a whole lot discussed at those two. And I've also been to one local advisory committee meeting, which was rather short, like about 40 minutes. And I don't know, they're having a book sale next month, I believe.
Good.
That's about it.
Okay, planning. We had a planning meeting not that long ago. It was just same stuff. We have some internal issues that we're dealing with right now, so we talked about that. We discussed about salary increases. Maybe some restructuring down the road, but.
Yeah, I got a couple people in camera, we went.
Yeah, but that's about it for planning. You got anything on planning, Bill? It's about,
That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, they got their new photocopier or printer or whatever.
Yeah.
That's in use already,
Okay.
working well.
rec board, I think we're having a rec board meeting. We're supposed to have one,
Trying to set one up for next week.
yeah, for next
Mike
week.
Paul for not coming home, to take care of the baby, to cancel the meeting.
Yeah.
I know, like, that's no,
Where do you stay when you're in there?
the LC just gives me a hotel.
Oh, really?
wherever in Brandon, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, that's where we're at for the rec board. We're having a meeting next week, so. White mud.
Should be having a spring meeting anytime now, but I haven't got an email yet, so.
Okay, there's one missing on here. It's Evergreen. They're having a meeting on Monday morning that I will be attending, so. So that's it. Before I read the resolution, I just wanted to let everyone know, when Debbie come on, I'm going to be assigning her some committees and boards to go on. If, I know we've all taken on a couple extras, so if anybody's got any they would like to pawn off on.
I'll just say it out loud, I'll just say, as you guys know, my job is switched now.
Yeah,
I haven't done just TP rail in Southport, I haven't done a job where I was working shift where I was away in the day now.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, 8 to 4. So if there's anything I can do to unload off some people, even if it's a quick like white line or something, Johnny, I'll take those on because I know it's a big, and I feel bad that I'm not for health action and stuff. That's why I haven't been responding much to emails, because I haven't been much
okay,
to be there in person, so I can't give my opinion on something if I don't have all the information
Mhm.
about sitting in on a meeting, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm not showing up, but I don't wanna be that person that gives an opinion on something, I only know 25% of the information, right?
so you will all be okay if I just assign Debbie some boards, nobody's gonna.
If there's anything you're interested in, if you want it, I will.
Yeah, or even if you just, I'm cool, I don't know about the other councils as well, but I'm cool, because we have a new counselor. It's almost like that October committee where we redo.
Yeah.
Cause I wanna give as much effort in as everybody else, right? So
No, I
I
mean.
just feel bad right now with this new, I'm almost 7 or 8 weeks in.
Yeah,
And I was always here.
Yeah.
During the days, but I'm not anymore, so I feel like, like everyone's kind of taken on my
well,
stuff.
we'll assign some, redos to kind of accommodate that sort of thing.
Yeah, and whatever you know what I mean? I'm
If everybody's good with that, then that's fine, we'll come up with something. man.
I just, out loud, I just want everyone to know I'm not trying to not.
No, I get it.
One of your jobs.
It's new,
You
it's
have
new
to
for, I haven't
go
done
to
a
your
5-day-a-week job for a
Yeah.
while, I know.
That was me for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
Okay, I'll read this resolution, resolution number 71-24, be it resolved that all reports be received by council as provided or presented, moved by,
Mike,
seconded by,
Bill,
Bill. All those in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We are communications. We have a letter sent to the town of Carberry from Jordan Dixon. Do you want to read that out?
Yep, I will do that. I'm just turn the microphone's better. So the subject is discussing online behavior by East End. And it's addressed to town of Carberry staff, but this is something I felt was council level, so. In light of the disgusting misogynistic, sexist and ableist comments viewed online by local business owner Brad Graham of East End Services in recent days surrounding International Women's Day, I sincerely hope you plan to address it with this business owner that it isn't acceptable behavior for a town that prides itself on making people feel like they belong, as you say in your cover photo on social media. After the vile comments Brad made on his business page, I can assure you that many in the community, especially women, do not feel like they belong and frankly feel scared for their safety after the hatred that was shared online, and there's screenshots below in case you missed it. International Women's Day is meant to celebrate and empower women worldwide, but this year the women of Carberry and area have been belittled and attacked, and then further attacked when we simply commented on the first post that we didn't find it funny. As one of the women who simply commented on the original post that it wasn't funny, what was posted last night makes me terrified for mine and my family's safety in this town, as Brad Graham thinks he is invincible and can get away with whatever he pleases. It's horrific behavior and makes Carberry as a whole look terrible as well. Please address this matter and step up for the women in your community. Don't take us back 100 years and simply ignore it and prove to Brad Graham that his actions are okay. This matter has already also been brought to the attention of our MP, Dan Mazer, ahead of his meeting in Carberry on Wednesday this week, and his team is horrified by the situation as well and do not condone this behavior. Myself and multiple other women from Carberry talked to his office this morning and sent them the screenshots as well. Thank you for your time, Jordan Dixon.
Well, this, social media post, so let's hear what the posts are, what are the, screenshots, I'll read them.
I don't know if I.
Cause it's all public, right?
Just, you mean.
Yeah, no worries. Cause we're recorded, so it's, public knowledge, it's on Facebook, then.
I think it's been taken down.
It has been taken down, yeah.
Unfortunately, with Facebook, you could screenshot stuff and it's still public knowledge, right? So-
Yep.
Just read them out for those who don't have Facebook. I don't follow these guys on Facebook, so.
It's not there now.
It was on Carberry and area neighborhood, watch that.
Yes.
Didn't that also get taken down? I think so. Stirred up a lot of divisiveness in with people.
It's not right,
It's not, it
right,
was
but you can't
overwhelming.
stop people from, whether it's a business or a person, but that just reflects on your business, right?
Yeah.
So, as a town of Carberry, we don't condone that, but on the other hand, we can't stop a personal business of someone in their personal, well, they'll just hinder them in their endeavors in the future, right, so. So it's up to you guys, like, because they were screenshotted, it was public. In honor of International Women's Day, we have Royal China paper plates on special this week. While supplies last, Winky Face.
Let's get it on there.
Yeah, and this from East End Services / Subway sandwiches. To those who don't, or who couldn't, or refuse to find any humor in our International Women's Day post, brackets, you know who you are. Here's a helpful link to either lighten up or express order one. So I'm guessing express order some paper plates.
Oh, it's the helmet.
Yeah,
It's the helmet.
It's a helmet. Oh, okay, my bad. So I didn't see the helmet. So there's a helmet down there. Miracleshop.com, special needs kids, special needs seating, helmet neck support, special needs helmets on women's essentials. Use code FEMMES. Danmer soft shell helmet. Yes, for people with special needs in pink.
That's not the
So-
end of it. It's not on there, but as it carries on, somebody messaged back, you realize that I have a disability? And he responded by saying, then you need a smaller helmet. Which is totally over the top and disgusting.
Mm.
So I don't know what we can do. I mean, he's a business owner, he can do what the hell he wants, but.
I think, does anybody else have anything or?
I'll just say it loud, like, I don't condone that, I don't condone the needs of, making fun of, the women for people with special needs. Whether it's a joke or not, you're a business owner in town, you're held accountable to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree.
don't, yeah,
And, I'm wondering if this shouldn't, if it hasn't already been sent, it should be go to the Chamber of Commerce.
That's what I was.
I
gonna
did,
suggest.
I did mention it to Kara. They do have a disciplinary committee there. This type of thing isn't really covered. It's more geared to business stuff. But I think it'll be discussion.
would a letter to Subway sandwiches, because Subway sandwiches is in on that one as well too. The town,
I get what she's saying, and I don't disagree with her, and I agree with what you say. We as, I think I can speak on behalf of the town. We don't condone it. I agree with you, Mike, one bit.
No.
We celebrate International Women's Day. I mean, we're all created equal. It's evident in this office with the women we have working here, women around the council table. We take that seriously. So that's where the town stands. I want no, any way, shape or form to think that we condone this as a generic. We celebrate women and International Women's Day. So that's our take on it. As far as a business, it's pretty hard for town council to tell a business what to do. We can't tell them what to charge. We can't tell them what to sell or the rest of it. So our hands are kind of tied. As far as writing a letter to the business, I don't know, is that an us thing? Do we get into that? I don't know. I know it shouldn't have been. It caused a lot of divisiveness on the Facebook posts with several people, and I
just mean they, on a business themselves, anybody who's owned a business, right, like, there's a couple brand names that they represent. Right, that probably wouldn't be too pleased with that, 3 big ones and.
It sounds like letters have been sent to them already.
Mhm.
And again, that's the public,
Yeah.
right, so on us. Like, again, we don't condone it, but we can also stop a personal person from putting, like, we can't stop businesses from putting up what they want.
Yeah.
Like on Facebook, right, we don't have a special
Yeah.
team that can stop.
What's your suggestion, Mike?
I just think that, you know, people ask us, we just say we don't, as a town of Carver, we don't condone this, and that's on the business owner, and they'll feel the repercussions of their actions.
So would we reply to Jordan Dixon and basically say your letter has been acknowledged and received? Our position as the town of Carberry is we respect women, we celebrate women, and we agree with International Women's Day, women's rights, the whole bit, and explain our position, and that's where we stand. Unfortunately, we can't tell businesses what to do. Johnny, what you
Yeah,
got?
but I would suggest that we send a letter to the Chamber of Commerce saying, we do not condone this, please
I
address
think
this.
that's more appropriate.
Yeah, we could,
And I mean, there's, and I don't know about too, like, just to the business themselves being like, this behavior is not reflective well on you and.
Yeah.
And, you know, we acknowledge that you're your own private, we acknowledge your rights.
Yeah.
But as a town of Carberry, you know, we don't condone this sort of talk.
Yeah.
You know, especially being part of the chamber, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's.
The other thing too, what it reinforces for us and anybody else, watch what you put on social media, because people
yeah.
out there are watching.
2 buttons on your phone saves it forever, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you gotta watch, and you gotta watch what you say. I can be just as guilty. I don't post stuff on Facebook other than before and after project pictures. There's lots of times, you know, where I have friends on Facebook and I'll wanna make some little snark remark and no, don't do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta be careful. So that's for a business too. Once that first person come on and was offended by that, they should have X'd out that post right
Mhm.
off the bat and not carried it on to where it got, but anyways.
That's
you have
acknowledging
something,
it.
Grady?
Yeah, my concern from a community perspective is the view that it gives the community, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's where we need to acknowledge that with the business. To say like, because a lot of the efforts that have been put into growing the community and continuing to grow the community can be for naught. It was on Reddit, like,
Was it?
yeah, there was a post on Reddit saying, gross ageism by rural Manitoba convenience store or something like that was the headline on Reddit, and there was 40 comments when I looked at it.
Wow.
So it's not just locally on Facebook that it's being seen, and the comments were from people in Winnipeg and all over the place, like. So that to me is where, as the town of Carberry, you guys as council need to say, like. You know, we don't have to say you can't do that, but we need to say. This is a reflection of the community, and as business owners, you want the community to grow to benefit your business.
Yeah,
And this isn't the way to do it.
so is that something? And again, you would write because you're a good wordsmith.
Yeah, I can write.
You would write it
Put
and
something
then
together,
I could
yeah.
sign it and, yeah, sure.
And then I agree too with the chamber and with, to Jordan as well, but I think it just needs to be.
Yeah, no, I
said
agree.
From
You had
our
something, Mike?
perspective.
Yeah, just for example, I'm just on this issue, but we have, other comments that were made on other committees and stuff, like I think you were sitting there on and whatever, and. We're trying to bring a doctor in that's usually gonna be international, or we're trying to bring people in from out of town to come work and move. And the internet is the thing where people look, right? And even being almost 40 years old, like, and whether to you're 18,
Yeah.
right? When you're gonna move somewhere, you're gonna look it up. You're gonna look up and see and if things are popping up on Reddit with that and whatever, because they're there forever. What more than being an international person hearing this
Yeah.
and being a woman, maybe a single mother and hearing this? And you're gonna be like, I mean, not everyone's like, oh my God, there's a post up here, I'm never moving there, but. It's a red flag, right? When maybe Source doesn't have that, right? I'm just gonna put it out there, right? So right now, we're trying to expand Carberry and make it a welcome, warming place to live. And this is not what we need, so.
Yeah.
I guess we can all be on the same page, just I'm gonna reiterate what you say, Ray, and everybody else, something saying in general that, hey, that's not cool, man.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, not to go on and on about it, this shouldn't have been in the past or present, but I mean, in this day and age especially. Oh, man.
Well, the human rights is right in there.
nowadays, even my work, someone has an email out, they'll have their pronouns and stuff like that. That's how we are nowadays and whatever, and
We all take code of conduct training.
absolutely,
Yep, so. Anyways, does that give you enough direction, Grady? or- Okay,
I think you get where.
Yeah. all right. Let's move on to Westman Regional Library meeting minutes. Anything on that? Everybody's read it?
Yes.
Any questions, comments? Okay. Let's move on to Manitoba HSLTC response to letter.
They're working on it.
Yeah, that was the one for the. Meeting with Raina that you've been talking to and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Lots has happened since that letter came back there, so.
Good, all right. All right, nothing else. I'll read this resolution. We have resolution number 72-24. Be it resolved that all correspondence be received by council. Moved by,
Mike,
seconded by.
Yep.
Questions, comments, all in favor? Opposed, that is carried. We have nothing added to the agenda. It's around the table time. And it says Mayor Muirhead gets to go first.
you was first. I'm kidding.
He's the guy with the big bucks.
Rock, paper, Ray.
I had a text sent to me by a concerned citizen who works at the care home and who has kids. I think we talked about this yesterday, about the snow clearing outside on the boulevard around the hospital and care home. Well, right after that, they came and did it, outside contractor. They did it right at the time when school was getting out. And there was lots of kids around and there were big trucks and loaders blocking, and it's just, you see that and you just cringe. I'm just wondering, I know that's not an us thing, but I'm just asking, is that something that, like, I'm assuming someone in the hospital, a manager would take care of arranging the contractor to come remove the snow, or who does that?
Well, I think the snow removal contractor subcontracted to haul it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think it would come from their maintenance department would be the proper channel for that.
Because there needs to be more communication just for scheduling. I mean, if they have to come at the time they came, then maybe somebody should phone the school and say, you know what, your kids should maybe take a different route. at this time, because there were a pile of kids and you're up in the big loaders and them big trucks, and my neighbor's little girl, little Emma, she's about this high, you'd never see her, and just for future reference. That makes sense? Okay, and just as an FYI, Lauren and I went to the BU choral exhibition the other night that the Arts Council put on, and it was good. She told me we were going to a Pink Floyd tribute concert, but.
How was the
Close
turnout?
Okay,
How was the turnout there?
not that great. It was good though. I mean, it's amazing the voices. Yeah, you were there. Yeah, you filmed it. Yep. Yeah, it was good. And I've got Shiloh. Shiloh has sent me an invitation to this, ball they're having in April. And I don't know if I can go. It's $100, $50 a person, so it's $100 per couple. I kind of think we might have something on that time, so I don't know if
What
somebody,
date, what's the date, right?
if I have my phone or my.
You just text me later?
Yeah.
That'd be something cause I have old friends in Charlotte, kind of be.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just FYI, I mean, I can reply and say. that
I'm on
you
a
might
couple
be
of courses in April, that's what I mean, so, but if
Okay.
it's not,
Hotel room.
no.
Before I leave tonight, it's on my tablet. So I don't have it on my phone, so.
April's still a few weeks away.
Okay, I can, when I start working on those tomorrow, I can just forward it to Mike.
Would you? Yeah, okay,
Yeah, the first 2 weeks, if it's in the first 2 weeks of April, then it's a no, I think.
good. Yeah, it sounds like they're putting a nice, a pretty good gig on, but I can't make it, so. Anyways, that's all I got. Deputy Mayor Kalinowicz, what do you got?
well, I have a question. Who puts up those big piles of snow like at the corner of Ottawa and First Avenue on the clinic property, on that corner exactly? And also across from the East End on the south side, you're always looking like this.
And back on this corner there as well.
Yeah, well, this one is us, the other ones aren't, and they've been told about that before, so I
Okay,
won't remind them.
that and I think I told you about the semi that was parked the wrong way overnight by the clinic, the wrong side of the street. That one was dealt with. But I actually notified the police about it. What else? The guys have done a great job with snow clearing. Don't think I have anything much more at this time.
Councillor Anderson.
Don't have anything other than welcome to our now counselor.
Thank you.
Enjoy it and I hope it's everything you expect it to be,
Thank you.
which you won't, but.
Just a warning, right?
Yeah.
That's it?
Oh,
We have Councillor Ray. I used to be a Councillor Ray at one time.
yes.
You have anything, Heather?
Not right at this meeting,
Okay.
just trying to get caught up on all the information that,
We expect you to know everything by a week from next Tuesday.
it's not gonna sit there. But thank you.
Yeah, okay, if you got nothing, Councillor Sudak.
No, welcome, Councilor Ray, and,
Thank
good job on keeping up with the snow clearing, even with the highways, I know some people, you know, gone above and jumped in the machine or two.
Oh,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah,
You had to
on
relearn
that,
everything.
and then, again, good job on our staff with the budgets and all that stuff too, so.
I can see it now. What's this stick do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops.
That new manhole that I didn't know was there that really got me.
oh.
and then, other than that,
Another
just for
one.
the paper, just because it's the normal, concerns that are brought up. Just be patient with the thawing and freezing of pools of water. That the
Ice.
public works are on it as much as they can, but with the thawing and freezing overnight, it's hard to exactly keep up with the drainage. The way it is, it's just unfortunate this time of year, so. They're doing the best they can, as I can see, so.
Okay, that's it, Mike?
Yep.
Youth Councillor Downey, you got anything, Ethan?
This is just a question that just popped in my head. Is there any possible way that they can drain the big lake in the playground?
No.
No?
No, they needed to keep that 30,000 yards of fill that they hauled out of there and that would have solved it, but yeah. Lake RJY is a permanent fixture until a whole bunch of material, it's the lowest spot in that whole area of town.
Yeah.
So.
It is what it is.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. You got anything, Brady?
No.
You got anything, John?
You're laughing, we should know
What did you have? I had something on, it sparked my memory when you said, what did you have? You had the semi-park, what was the other one?
Snow piles.
Snow pile,
Oh, piles.
the snow pile,
And snow clearing.
God, it escaped me. Okay. never mind.
snow clearing, east end of Stickle Avenue, where it goes past Pat Waterson's and Simon Wolfers. Currently, they didn't do it very often this winter, they finally did this time. It needs to get done, I guess, when they're around.
Mhm.
Okay,
I had a
that's it
comment
for
about
around the
the-
table then? Oh, we have. Yes. What would you like to ask?
Well, you brought up a couple of issues that go back 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
The puddle in the school ground has been there forever.
Ever,
Yeah, I used to look forward to it every year when I was a kid.
When I've had time to think about it, the parallel parking.
Yeah.
Or the diagonal parking.
Yeah.
We did away with that for safety reasons.
yeah.
This, because it was getting to be more and more half tons all the time. And you can't see around them when you try to back out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will attest to that, and
The
he has
second
the same
issue
problem.
now is when you get a snowfall, you ridge the snow into the center of the street, you can't do that.
oh, that's right.
Right,
There's no place to drive the car to go.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, good points.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. Having that, I guess we'll move into in camera. We have a resolution number 73-24, be it resolved that council move in camera under section 1523B2 of the municipal act to discuss preliminary matters. Moved by. Seconded by.
Bill.
All in favor? Carried.
Opposed.
Too bad.